guys, welcome to my channel. My name is ReadingBear and I hope you are ready for some more stories. And today, we'll take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady content. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comment. And now, let's dive right into the stories.
The first story is titled I Don't Work Here, I Work in That, Ambulance. Years ago, in the early 2000s, I was working 24-hour shifts on an ambulance. Since we were working these extended shifts, we had a kitchen and whatnot at our station. So if we didn't have a call right at the beginning of our shift, after our rig and equipment checks, the first thing we do in the morning is our grocery shopping for the day. Now, just to make sure it's clear that there's no possible way for us to be mistaken for the uniform of the store employees, we wore blue button-down shirts, had a patch on one arm that said state of redacted, and our certification level, either EMT basic or paramedic, and on the other arm had a patch with our company logo on it. We had dark blue pants with about 500,000 pockets, radios on our belts, etc. The grocery store employees' uniforms were either a white or tan shirt and black pants, and usually some type of apron, with the store logo. The last bit of info I should add is that the area we worked in was one of the richest neighborhoods in our metro area, and usually the cheapest car you saw in the parking lot was a Lexus. So now that the stage is set, comes our adventure. My partner and I were at the store doing our shopping for the day, and it was a relatively quiet Sunday morning. Other than us, there were only a couple of other shoppers in the store, and several employees were plainly visible doing their morning duties. I'm busy trying to decide if I want link or patty sausages for my breakfast, when I hear the classic ahem. I'm pretty engrossed, because let's be honest, it's an important decision, and now I'm weighing bacon into the mix too, and I really don't pay too much attention. Then I hear it again, accompanies by finger snapping. I'm broken out of my sizzling reverie by this, and think maybe I'm blocking someone's access to the cooler? Turn around and there's this lady in her 60s, dressed up way too fancy for a early Sunday morning grocery run, and she's glaring daggers at me. I'm sorry ma'am, am I blocking your way? No. Can't remember the exact item she's looking for. I'm sorry ma'am, I'm not an employee here, I work for, redacted, the ambulance company. However, I've seen a couple of employees a few aisles over, I'm sure they'll be happy to help. Young man, you will do your job. I need you to find, item, for me. Ma'am, again, I'm really sorry, but I do not work here. I work on the ambulance you had to walk past to come in. We always park right up front in case we get a call. Now, I apologize, but I need to finish my shopping so we can get back to the station. I reach into the cooler, grab a package of bacon, because bacon always wins in the end, and plop it into my basket, turn and start to leave. And this crazy old bat decides to shove her cart in my way to try to block me from walking away from her. Young man, my husband is, name that apparently she thought I should recognize, and my shopping here pays your wages. Do your job and help me. Now. Between the crash of her cart hitting the cooler and her escalating tone of voice, we've, thankfully, caught the attention of one of the store employees. They come around the corner, and turns out it's the store manager. I recognize her because we've run calls at this store before. Mrs. Name. Please calm down, and I'll gladly help you. She's getting wound up to start yelling again, and about that time, my radio starts going off. When we're assigned to a call, it starts beeping very loudly. I silence it, turn to the store manager, and apologize to her for running off and leaving my groceries in the cart, but we're getting a call and I have to go. She's very understanding, and as I'm walking off, I hear the old bat asking, yelling at the store manager, where does he think he's going? I need, item. And her reply, presumably, to his ambulance to respond to that call, since that's his job. The next story is titled The Pizza Place Printed My Phone Number on Their Coupons. So, this happened back in 2007 or 2008. Not sure this belongs here, it looks like it might fit. I lived in a small town and my house had really bad cell phone coverage at the time, so I still had a landline for the house, complete with an answering machine. One day I come home to find several phone calls for a regional pizza restaurant on my answering machine. I quickly find that they had printed these mass junk mail flyers with some pretty decent discounts and my phone number. It was a pretty simple mistake. My phone number was XXXXXX-4442 and theirs was 4422. I called the pizza place and told them what happened. The manager was nice, and told me he had nothing to do with it, that the corporate office made them up, but he would call them and try to work out a fix. That night I probably got 80 phone calls. I changed the outgoing message on my answering machine to give callers the correct number. More than half the calls I got still left me their pizza order. Who calls for pizza and expects to leave their order on an answering machine? That town has more dumb people than I thought possible, and I already had a low opinion to begin with. This went on for almost 2 weeks. I kept calling the restaurant, and the manager kept telling me they can't get a hold of anyone who can do anything. Finally, I'd had enough when a snowstorm blows through town and the pizza orders go up. Snowy days seem to be busy for food delivery. I start taking orders, writing them down as accurately as I can, and forwarding them to the pizza place through the number listed on their website for home office. At the time, if you called that number after hours, the robot that answered gave you a list of extensions, and eventually I found the one for VP marketing. I wanted president, but meh, close enough. Once I found the extension, I forwarded every call for them I got, like this. Hello, this is Airborne Chaos again. I have an order for 1 extra large, Goliath pizza, 1 order of cheese sticks, and a bottle of Sprite to be delivered to John Dow at 244 High Street, Small Town. His credit card number is, insert credit card details here, and his phone number is, phone number. I really hope you can help me get these people their food. This seems to be pretty inefficient. Thanks. I made at least 20 calls like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it wasn't as many as I thought it would be when I made the plan. Nevertheless, the next morning I got a call from the company president. They paid my phone bill for a year, minus long distance, to buy my phone number from me. Honestly, they didn't need to pay my phone bill for a year, just cover the cost of changing the number. But they offered. The next story is titled Block My Driveway Karen. HOR. House owner me. Me, who else? K. Karen, not her real name, she was acting like a Karen. So, I was just shoveling the snow from the blizzard earlier. Yes, it happened today. And one of the neighbors in my townhouse. Is that what it's called? 'Cause it's not an apartment building, but it's also not a one-family house. Anyways, I was shoveling and she just parks her car in my driveway. There is one driveway, and the owner of my house has nice enough to let my family have the whole driveway 'cause they used to live there and were good friends. My mom and my dad lived there like 10 years ago and now we went back to live there. So Karen here parks her car there and I'm like, me. Ma'am, that is my family's driveway, HOR said so. K. Do I look like I care, brat? Me. Geez, stop being so entitled. K. Get back to shoveling and maybe I'll pay you. I was shoveling around the house and the neighbors were paying me. Me. Well, she has issues. A few hours later. That was what we heard later that day. I run outside and K's car was covered in snow. Me. Wheezing, oh my god, ha ha ha. K. What did you do? To me. Me. Still wheezing. Nothing, Karen. It was windy AF, what did you expect? K. You got up there and pushed it down on purpose. Me. Ma'am, sorry if I'm rude, but how TFA am I going to get up there? K. Visible confusion, no joke, her face just showed she was confused. Me. Bye now. Oh, and if you want, I can clean it for you. K. Really? Oh my gosh, thank. Me. But you owe me the $30 from before 'cause I finished shoveling. K. What? No. Me. Okay, suit yourself. I'm going to eat dinner. The next story is titled Lady Lost Her Mind When I Wouldn't Clean Her Mat. So quick background. I live close enough to my mother that we do this CrossFit class together every Saturday. It's fun and we bond. The class is an hour long and at the beginning we grab mats and weights. We tend to grab a few different types depending on the workout the guy assigns. You have to be early to this class because it's popular and me and my mom grab spots in the back. The class fills up and all the regulars take their spots. There isn't much room but there is space in the front. For the first half hour everything is going well, then this lady comes in. She walks in the center of the room and stares at us, then goes and grabs a mat. I head over to a station on the TRX and begin my set. When I come back I see this lady has pushed my mat into my weights and has made herself a spot. My mom is livid but I wave her off. Don't get me wrong, I am annoyed, but it happens and I continue the class. 5 minutes later our instructor gives us the next set of workouts. I finish my workout on the mat and see there is a free TRX. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a rope you attach to the wall and do different exercises with. As I am pushing through a set someone taps my shoulder. It's this lady. You finished 10. I counted. Stop hogging. First of all, I did not. Secondly, our instructor has us go through the sets twice in a round, so I was planning to go through twice. Thirdly, there was a free one right next to me. I point out the free one and she rolls her eyes and says something snarky about how I wasn't being mindful of costumers. She then demands that I show her how we are doing the workout. I kinda show her my form and then Mike the trainer comes by. She smugly looks at me and is like, good, someone is doing their job around here. I just shrug it off and try to finish my set in peace. I go back to my workout and don't have anything with her till the end of class. At the end, our instructor hands out wipes for us to clean the mats before we return them. My mom was returning the weights while I was wiping our mats. As I am wiping my mom's down, a mat is thrown at me and lands on my hands. I am on my hands and knees. I look up and it's this woman again. She is kinda smugly looking down at me, throws down her wipe and then begins to walk away. I get up with her mat and hand it back to her. Me. Excuse me, that's not where you leave them. Her. What? You are cleaning them. You need to clean mine. Me. Yeah, just this one and mine. Her. What makes her special? Me. She is my mom. Her. That doesn't matter, it's your job to clean these. I was kinda floored at the idea I worked there. Only because I am working on losing weight. I am not obese, but I certainly don't have a trainer's body. Me. I don't work here. Her. Stop being bratty, it's clear you work here. Me. What? Her. You clearly work here, I can see your uniform. Plus you were helping that woman the whole time. For the record, the supposed uniform was black leggings and a black tank. And there wasn't one. Me. Picking up my mat and my mom's, I do not work here. Leave me alone. She then begins screaming the intruster's name and he comes up. With my mom right behind him. She has seen some of the stuff and was pretty much over this lady's crap. Mike on the other hand has no idea, he can tell from my face that I am annoyed. Mike. What's going on? Her. You need to fire this woman. She is refusing to clean my mat and spent the whole lesson ignoring me. Mike, who at this point understands my annoyance. She doesn't work here, but I can clean your mat. I also should tell you that we don't clean mats in the future. At this point the lady huffs out and marches downstairs. I think that's the end of it till my mother and I go down and see this woman screaming at the front desk. She sees me and then points. Her, get that brat fired, she used brat way too much. The front desk guy is this pretty innocent kid. Probably in high school. She doesn't work here, ma'am. At this point her face is as red as it gets. She screams and then walks out. My mom made us wait inside till she left the parking lot. Probably for the best. The next story is titled I'm Not Your Uber Driver Lady. I was living in a university area and parking was really hard to find. I found a great spot out front and had to run back up to my apartment and grab something and got back down to my car. I was sitting in my car getting my phone ready with music before I left. While doing that, my two back doors open up and two kids climb in. They don't speak great English and are trying to tell me where to go. I turned around and told them that I'm not an Uber driver. So they sat in the back of my car on their phones trying to figure out what was going on with their Uber. I had to scream, get out of my car. This is not the place to figure out your Uber app. But the look on their faces when everything clicked that they were lounging in the back of a stranger's car and were getting yelled at was priceless. The next story is titled Lady Wants Me to Move a Random Person's Stuff Off the Beach. I work as a swim instructor on a very busy beach, and our office is based in a little surf shack on the edge of the beach. The beach is really popular, and if you don't get there before about 10 in the morning most days you can forget about getting a decent spot for your stuff. So it was a little before 3 in the afternoon, when a random woman came up to the surf shack, and it looked like she was yelling, but I was a little down the beach, as I was wrapping up a class, so I couldn't hear her. I saw her and hurried over after all the students from the 2 o'clock class were safe on the beach. I instructed the class to start bringing their boards up to the shack so I could put them away. Me. Hi, my name is Op. I'm one of the instructors here. How can I help you? Lady. Finally. I've been waiting forever. I literally saw her arrive less than 20 seconds ago. Me. Customer service mode activated. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. I was wrapping up a class and I'm the only one on duty right now. Lady. I don't need the details, are you helping me or not? Me. Do you want to sign up for surfing lessons? Lady. No. Me. Do you want to rent some equipment? Lady. No. Me. So what can I do for you? Lady. Help me deal with this crap. She gestures to a few towels with a windbreaker, buckets and spades, a couple of bottles of drink, a board bag, everything you would need for a family day out at the beach. I'd seen the family it belonged to earlier, briefly. Parents in their mid-30s, and a couple of kids who didn't look older than 10. Me. You want me to? Lady. Help me move it. Me. Where? Lady. In there, points to the surf shack, where the students are currently dumping their boards. Me. I think there's been a misunderstanding here, this is a school, not a storage unit. Lady. Stop asking questions and just help me move it. She turns towards the stuff, and I realize she is 1, early 20s and not the mother nor the daughter of this family, and 2, carrying her own beach stuff. Me. Do you know this family? Lady. Why would I? Me. Because you want me to move their stuff. Either you know them or you're moving a stranger's stuff off the beach. Lady. Can you just shut up and do your job? You're getting paid to help people, not ask questions. Me. I'm getting paid to teach surfing, not move people's stuff. Lady. Well, what am I meant to do? All the good spots are taken. Me. Look for another spot. She stomps off after this, and I thought it was over, so I go inside to help the students with their boards. But then maybe 5 minutes later I head back towards the door and there's a pile of beach stuff right outside the door. I look over and sure enough the lady from earlier is lying on a beach towel in the exact same spot she'd indicated, with the family's possessions bundled up and left for me to look after. I didn't really see what else I could do after that. I had to stay in the surf shack and keep an eye on the current class while waiting for the other one to arrive, as I was the only person on duty. Plus, now it was on the premises. I figured it probably came under the surf shack's rule of us taking responsibility for lost or stolen items, and I didn't want anything to get nicked. I yelled to the lady, but she was almost definitely pretending she couldn't hear me. The family came back a little while later, 10 or so minutes, asking why some random woman in their spot was saying I had their stuff, and I gave it to them and explained. They looked more confused than angry, but I saw the dad go over to the lady and they exchanged what looked like some less than friendly dialogue while the mum thanked me for at least making sure their stuff didn't get stolen, and she and the kids set off further up the beach. The next story is titled Don't Mess with My Grandma, Karen. The denotations of the people involved are pretty obvious, so I am not going to list them. Summary. Grandma with Alzheimer's puts Karen in her place. My grandmother has Alzheimer's, so she often doesn't know where she is or who is with her. I know for a fact that she has no idea who I am. Therefore I make an effort to call her grandma multiple times in any sitting or activity we participate in. Recently, I noticed she needed her hair and nails done as the color in both those areas was fading or chipped. So I made an appointment with a family member who owns a beauty salon and took her there. Normally, customers or those waiting for someone sit in the front area and rarely accompany a person they came with inside the actual salon floor. So, I understand why assumptions were made, but still, don't mess with my grandmother. I was on the salon floor with my grandmother, sitting in a seat in front of her, while my cousin colored her hair. I was there to make sure to keep her calm and engaged while her hair and nails were being done. She was telling me the same story she had told me 10 times in the last 10 minutes, bless her heart, when I felt someone behind me. Now we were in the farthest corner of the room, not near a bathroom or wash station, so there was really no reason someone should be behind me. My grandmother stops talking and looks behind me. Grandma, chipper as ever, hi. Are you another grandchild? Karen, no I am not. And why are you not working? There is a line over there. Me. Upon realizing she is talking to me, say over my shoulder, I don't work here. Karen. Now I can believe that. You are on the floor, which means you work here. She's talking to me condescendingly and I do not take that sort of tone well. Neither does my grandmother. In a moment of clarity, I watch that bright chipper smile fall and a glimpse of my brainiac grandmother peek through. I shoot a warning glance at my cousin who is pursing her lips to keep from laughing prematurely. Grandma. Well, by your own logic my dear, you must be a worker. Go get me a new Coke, would you? That's a good honey bunch. Karen starts sputtering and my grandma laughs. The chipper look returns to her face and she says, hi, are you one of my grandchildren? As Karen stomps off in her loud high heels, my grandma turns and says, loudly, I guess not. My grandchildren are not idiots. Oh my god, I love my grandma. I don't know where Karen went, I wasn't really paying attention after that. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.